Hey guys, we got these images here from Netflix going over some stats for the Defender shows and stuff like that. So let's jump into this and we'll check these pictures out. So the first one here, we have this kind of diagram showing all the different the four different shows before the Defenders, and which shows led people to watching the Defenders individual shows. So if we look here for the first one, we had Daredevil. And then a lot of the recommendations people watch, like Breaking Bad, will want to watch Daredevil, Dexter, House of Cards, and Narcos will all lead to Daredevil and stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting there. It's all crime kind of dramas and political dramas and stuff like that, which Daredevil all takes place in, is all that kind of storytelling. So it's kind of pretty interesting there. And then you have your Jessica Jones, where you have Friends, Master of Nothing, Orange is the New Black, and Making of a Murderer. I think that's pretty interesting, Making of the Murderer standing out the most, just because it is a more personal story, just like Jessica Jones is really more personal story than all of these ones, dealing with with really personal issues and stuff like that. With Kilgrave being a personal storylines only between Kilgrave and Jessica, whereas Matt Murdock and Kingpin was about Matt Murdock and Kingpin fighting for Hell's Kitchen, whereas she wasn't really fighting for any town. She was just fighting for herself and her clients and stuff like that, and just a personal fight. So I think it's pretty cool with that. I like those. It's pretty interesting that obviously the female aspect would lead people into people who would watch Orange is the New Black, and like that gritty aspect would kind of like Jessica Jones. And then Master of Nothing, I haven't watched that one, so I really not sure what that is. Usually that guy's a stand-up comedian, so I don't really know what type of show that is, but I'm assuming it's some sort of a comedy drama type thing, or sarcastic or drama or something, so that could be cool. And then Friends, I was just finding it interesting that Friends people would like to watch Jessica Jones, and then think that's kind of interesting there. Another one you got for Luke Cage, you got your Walking Dead, which is a little bit more fantasy and stuff like that, I think, which makes sense. People who like Walking Dead would like Luke Cage and stuff like that. You got your Stranger Things, Black Mirror, a little bit more sci-fi and fiction type stuff. So I think it's pretty interesting with that. But then the other thing, getting over to Iron Fist, this is the one I really kind of, this is where I think this is the reason why they need to shake things up. I mean, you got Shameless, Grace and Frankie, Love, and 13 Reasons Why. All the shows, anyone who watched those type of shows would get recommended to watch Iron Fist by Netflix and all that stuff. So I think that's the reason why they need to revamp Iron Fist, because you don't want that same audience watching Iron Fist. I mean, in my opinion, as a comic book fan who wants to watch an Iron Fist show, I don't want to watch a show that the same. Like a love story show. It's just, you want a hardcore kung fu movie. These movies should be recommended, in my opinion. For an Iron Fist show, should be similar to different shows. Like should be some Bruce Lee stuff here. Enter the Dragon type movie. That's what we want. Some Jackie Chan's movie. It should be the Rush Hour movies. Could be there. And things like that. So I think it could be interesting to see what's going to happen for season 2, and if we get this eventually later on when season 2 finally comes out for Iron Fist. If I did hear correctly, I think I did read that Finn Jones said he has like 4 or 5 months worth of training and stuff like that before he even starts shooting, so that could be pretty cool. Definitely it improved he improved in Defenders and stuff, so I think it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that. But just let me know what you think, guys, in the comments below about this recommendation for Iron Fist. And I think these are the reasons why it needs to change. You want to have all these aspects for Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. These all fit parts of this. There's parts of these shows you can see in Jessica Jones. There's parts of Orange is the New Black you can see in Jessica Jones, and Making Murder you can see parts of that in the connection to Jessica Jones and stuff like that. I think you could see that even from in the comic books. But none of these shows, in my opinion, although I haven't watched that much of Love and stuff like that, but a love story shouldn't be connected to a comic book ninja with burning Iron Fists and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how this changes, how this affects them for making this season 2 of Iron Fist. But hopefully, in my opinion, I'd like to see this be completely revamped and different shows recommended for Iron Fist season 2. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how that goes, but it's kind of interesting to see that. So another photo here that they released was this thing from Netflix, the track to Marvel's Defenders, showing how people watched the shows, in which order they watched, and how one show led to the next and stuff. And then it's pretty interesting how, if you start off with, if we start off with Luke Cage, people usually went to Shameless, and then from Shameless you either go down or you continue on. And then you just keep going down. It's pretty interesting how they go there. But the interesting part here is it looks like Jessica Jones was the most viewed, according to this part right here. That Jessica Jones most viewed, the Iron Fist, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and stuff like that. So that could be interesting to see there. I'm not sure what that means. So I did hear bits, pieces that Jessica Jones was the most viewed and stuff online. I couldn't really find where Netflix said that exactly, but that's what I've been hearing a little bit more recently. Before the few times when all the independent research had been done, it said that Iron Fist was the most viewed and Daredevil. And then Daredevil Season 2 was also the most viewed and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be interesting to see that there and stuff. So it's quite interesting. They also do talk about how Iron Fist was the, more younger audience. Daredevil's a little bit more mature audience, things like that and stuff like that. And Daredevil brings a more male audience than female, and Jessica Jones brings a more female than male. And Iron Fist and Luke Cage is pretty much the same, and Iron Fist just a bit of a younger audience and stuff like that. And I think that's where they need to kind of revamp the series a little bit just for season 2, just to bring it a little bit more mature, in my opinion, for a wider audience and stuff like that, and not just a silly audience, not just for a younger audience and stuff like that. So I think it's gonna be cool. And again, so if you get back to this here, you see the trails, how how Luke Cage can lead people to Daredevil. How people just go down and continue down to Narcos, and then eventually connects to Daredevil and stuff like that. And then if we zoom out, you also see how Jessica Jones could lead to Iron Fist, or Jessica Jones led to Daredevil, which I think is the one that they said saw the most. A lot of people would start with Jessica Jones, go to Daredevil, and then from Daredevil go to Luke Cage, and Luke Cage go to Iron Fist, and then Defenders and all that stuff. Well, they haven't touched upon Defenders yet, which is going to be interesting to see. Hopefully, if they release some information about the Defenders viewership, that'll be quite interesting to see that whenever that comes out. So it definitely is quite interesting. I still have a lot of these same shows that we saw before in the other picture and the other chart and stuff like that. So that's quite interesting to see that. To the add different shows like Supernatural and stuff like that. That's quite interesting. There. So it is quite interesting to see this. I think it's definitely going to be fun to see how this affects the other seasons and stuff. I think Daredevil's supposed to start production in October or September or something like that really soon. So that'll be interesting to see that. Maybe see some set photos if they start filming probably in October or something like that. That'll be fun to see that. And so let me know what you think, guys, about these photos in the comments below. And what do you think about these stats and stuff like that, this stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.